I got to turn my mic on. That'd be a good idea to do that. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations. That's the second time in the last 2 weeks that I've done that. I've talked in the mic. I've been on mute. Maybe I'm having some downtime. Usually I don't do that, but hey, I'm human. But host of Epic Conversations, I'm the home of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online conversation in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that collaboration, second year in a row now. This year we've done it. We've reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. As always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting live on December 27th. It's almost the end of the year, but I will just do this little promo push. The Dr. Vibe Show has been nominated in the Best Black Canadian Podcaster category in this year's BuyBlacks.com People's Choice Awards. Just to tell everyone, BuyBlacks.com is Black Canada's #1 online website. So if you want to vote for me, go to buyblocks.com/PCA/vote to vote, and you can vote every 24 hours. So you can do that before the end of the year if you choose to. And you know what? It's not about me anymore. It's not about me anymore. It's about two friends, Sid and Liz, and they're not on mute. So what's going on, family? How we doing?
Doing awesome. How you doing?
When I can hear myself, yeah, I'm fine. but it's all good. I'm always good in your presence.
Awesome.
Always good in your presence. What has been the last month been like? Uh-oh. Look at each other.
It's been a full month. The last month of 2022 has just been jammed packed. I mean, I celebrated my birthday. A transition for me to be on break for 2 weeks and just really have some time with Sid has been a big part of these last couple of weeks for us as we close out the year. So it's been jam-packed and just really excited to enter into this new year.
So let me ask, Liz, outside of the 2 weeks, how much time do you get to spend with Sid?
It's pretty full schedule for Sid. I would say that I take advantage of all of the things that he's doing by supporting him, but also allowing myself to connect with him. So whether it's a clubhouse room or a Zoom meeting, as long as it's not a one-on-one or a select group of people, I love to just be involved with the work that he's doing and get to see him in action. So we do have our fair share of time together.
Good. Sid, what's been going on, man?
Been a lot. Just continuing to put it all together, to just finish the movie, the final script for that. So I'm excited to continue to walk that journey. I mean, it's really from now, the final script's probably 5 years before it hits the big screen. So, it's a feature film. So it took me 10 years to write it.
Wow.
So I'm excited to be done with that.
Yes.
At least that stage of things and let that continue to grow. And everybody that sees it and gets to read it are always like, wow, dude, you did this. There's not very many people that actually get to this point. And it's like, yeah, and that means I have to finish because I didn't just do all this work just to get to this point, right?
True.
So there's that, and that's been a big part. And writing 4 books, I've got 2 of them that I think will be done by January 1st.
Oh, wow.
One of them is done. The other one is getting done. And
Okay.
and
You're wearing me out, man. You're wearing me out in like 30 seconds or less. You've worn me out.
Well, at that, I got a lot of energy, so I got to put it somewhere, and I don't drink or do, I stay sober and all those things. So got to do it somewhere. So I spend a lot of time writing and typing, and I wrote one book by hand so that my hands would get a break. One book by hand and type the other one. So Liz is now typing the one I wrote by hand. So yeah, it's great.
Wow. Well, the only way I can keep up to you is about a number of online conversations I do. I think that's the only way I can remotely keep up with you, because people say, don't you ever take a break? And I say, yeah, I do. So let's say someone from the family, your family says, hello, everyone. Liz and Sid, happy holidays. Mariah, Marie, Gerido.
Yeah, MJ, what's happening? Happy holy days to you.
So what has the holy days been like for you so far, for both of you?
Well, I would say for me, it's been a lot about going in and looking within. You had mentioned my glasses, Dr. Vibe, at the start of the show. I'm not usually in my glasses, but it is a outward expression, I feel like, of what the past few weeks have been about with the holidays, or holy days, as Sid very spiritually calls them. I was thinking of the adjective to describe there, but it's been about looking within and taking time to slow down. And I think every winter is like that here in Florida. It's like all of a sudden, I don't know what to do with this cold weather. I've forgotten what it's like to be up north where it's actually cold, but it has been about staying in and just taking time to reflect, to sit, be still, slow down, which I know for me is a challenging process. I'm used to going and doing, not quite as much as Sid with all of the things he's up to, but still that energy of putting out is what I'm used to. So it's been about slowing down and looking within.
Sid, what you been doing in the holy days?
Man, I'm coining that, and I'm using that on purpose with people, because so many people practice and celebrate different ways during these days, right? So I've been really, with the books and everything that I'm doing, it's all about bringing us into a place of oneness. Like, it's easy for someone to be like, I celebrate Christmas, I celebrate Hanukkah, I celebrate Kwanzaa. Well, I celebrate you, whoever you are. And so they're just holy days, and those holy days aren't just December to January. It's 365 days a year. So at some point, when it continues to move forward, I'll be saying, hey, happy holy day to you, like whoever that is. And so that's what's coming forward for me. With all the things I have on my plate and stepping into this next phase of my life, I've just really come forward into, all right, how do I bring something forward that the world is craving right now? And that's unity, so this holy day season has been just about creating that unity, and helping people get that the only reason things are seen the way they are is because you're looking through your own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want something to look another way, then all I have to do is change, like Liz is going through the glasses thing that she doesn't like. All I got to do is change the glasses and clean them off, like, which is me. If it doesn't look the way I want to see it, clean me up and I'll see a different world. So I'm just really, my body has said yes to where I'm stepping next. It has really said yes. And because of that, who knows how many more of those yeses I get. So this one, I'm hitting it out the park. That's what I know. Yeah. So I'm turned up.
I expect nothing less from you, by the way.
Never turn down.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Liz, does Sid ever have a turn down moment?
No.
Thank you.
I do go to sleep.
Other than that,
for a couple hours.
Well,
oh
hey,
my!
I practice turning the clock back. Like,
oh, I love the body language.
Right.
Man, look at the rhythm on my boy. Check out the rhythm on my boy.
I practice that way. So, like, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, hey, what do I need to turn it back? So like if the wrinkle comes, turn it back, turn it back, turn it back, turn it back, which means I'm turning that energy up constantly. And I just love it like that. I just love living life. So my dad always said when I was young, son, you get plenty of sleep when you're dead. Wake up, get up, go do life. So now like I'm going. Now people want, hey, slow down. No, I'm going.
I love the animation, eh, Liz? Ooh, that's good.
And that is what we've been up to the past few weeks.
Okay, very good.
You know, next week it'll be 70. I'm taking this board out.
Yeah. When was the last time you were out with the board?
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah, right before we left for Thanksgiving. So I guess longer than 2 weeks, a month then.
Not good. MJ says thanks. Divine Right from the DMV says blessings everyone and happy new year in advance.
Yes.
And she says the body language is very animated and she puts laughing emojis.
I tell you what, I've been working at it. Like I've got some stuff that I came into because I've been watching like, all right, how do I I went through all the health things. So I had to correct that for myself. Like really shifting my A1C, people don't know this, but my blood sugar hit 500.
What?
That's death. Like you should be dead at that point, and I'm here. So
I'm not paying attention to you. I'm paying attention to Liz. Liz, how did you respond to that? Like I'm going, what?
I was a mess.
500, y'all.
Yeah, it just randomly boom spiked and was taking me down. So that meant I had to go in and really get a whole nother level. Well, I didn't know that the other level meant, look out, I'm more alive than I have been since college. Like I can feel that. Like I'm so, I don't even have to, like I can tell my body what I want it to do now. Like say, hey, get more cut up. We're about to go do a photo shoot. Like, and it's just hey man, I'm in it. I'm ready. I am ready. Like anybody sees this, they should know I'm ready.
Sometimes, Liz, I think about you and say, you are just hanging out with a big kid.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Woo-ha, 500. Thankful you're okay. People caring about you, Sid. 500 is serious, brother.
Yeah, it just went from not zero, but from 100 to 500 overnight. Like it was just, and I really don't know what it was other than now I've regenerated my pancreas, my adrenals, and all so now I function. And like I haven't functioned like this. Woo! I'm just telling you, I'm ready. I'm ready. Ready.
Okay, let's get to our conversation topic for this time, because I think Sid may just blow up the whole network if we keep them going like that. So let's see if we can reel it in a little bit. We're talking about today the end of the year and what is possible for people going forward. So part one, reflection time, the end of the year. What, if any, reflections do either of you have about the year 2020?
2022.
Two. See, I can't go way back. Can't unmute my mic and can't get my ears right. Maybe my blood sugar spiking. Go on.
Well, I'm gonna let Liz go because I've been thinking about this today. Even though I didn't know what you were gonna say, what we were talking about, I just know I've been processing the day. So go for it.
Well, thank you, Sid. I think 2022 has been a year of things opening up a lot more. So for us, we're newer to Florida, and when we first moved here, it was really in the midst of the pandemic. Although Florida was open, things were still not, normal. So for me personally, it's been about keeping those boundaries and choosing to kind of keep what worked from those the opportunities that were created out of having to stay in a bit more or not being out in social gatherings as much, and just making sure that I have the boundaries around myself to give, to practice the self-love, and to continue in the ways that give back to me. So that's what has been one of the big reflections for me coming out of this year.
All right. I feel like there's a little echo.
It would be from your end, not, but it's little, it's not serious.
Right. Let me just try to and come back. Nah, it's maybe. Yeah, maybe. That sound better?
It's fine. Yeah, I heard a slight bit of an echo, but I don't hear it anymore.
All right, cool. So I hear it.
It's your energy, Sid.
There you go.
I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna go back. So 2022, first of all, going into 2022, December 31st, 2021, I was going through the fact that I was losing my sight. Now this is Liz's turn. She's not losing her sight. Excuse me, I didn't mean to put that on. So, yet I was losing my sight, and I realized going into 2022 that I had to become desireless because I was in the midst of losing my sight. I had no clue if I was going to be blind for good, right? So I had to take that on. So that was the beginning of 2022, was seeing that by becoming desireless and letting go of the need to have something different than what I had, I opened up to, hey, I just get things done. That's where I am now. Like 2022 became get it done. You don't know what you're going to have time to do later. Do it now. So when 4 books came to my mind, 4 books had to be written. And the 2 that are almost done, and another one was already written in 2022. The 2 that are almost done, I see the imprint that I'm leaving behind with that. And so that was a big lesson of becoming desireless. Another one was in the midst of when I'd put my hand on Liz's shoulder and couldn't see her face. When my eyes finally got corrected in February, one of them, and then the other one in March, when I first looked at her face, was the first thing I saw. Like I called the doctor, said, "Man, this thing's itching. I gotta can I pull it?" And he was like, "Yeah, you can take it off. Like take it off, but put it back on once you do that, whatever." I took it off, and I'm like this, eyes really can't open it, and I was like, "Man, I want to know if this thing works." And Liz was sitting to my left, so I got it to just barely open, and I saw her face, and I was like, whew. So I saw the beauty of her face and the beauty of the person that I hadn't really slowed down enough to see life really. I got all these books on the wall. I've traveled the world. I've raised my children, all these things that I thought when I left football, I thought I slowed down enough to see life, and I hadn't. I just did it differently. So that was those 2 things were probably my biggest standout moments of 2022. And the final thing I'll say 2022 also brought me was, as I said earlier, I only see the way I see things. So everything I see is a reflection of me. I went deep on that reflection part of, all right, if I want to see the world differently, how am I going to be different to see the world different? And that's what's taken me into 2023 is the world's going to be on fire. That's what I know, because that's where I am. So we're going to be on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. I want to bounce back to Liz for a moment. You mentioned the word boundaries. If you're comfortable, and it's always up to you, how were your boundaries tested in any way in this past year?
Well, I think going back before this past year, for me personally, I am someone who likes to make sure I'm doing everything that I possibly can. You know, if there's a task that needs to be done, doing all the work that I can do, or going above and beyond in certain ways to get work done. And so sometimes that would leave me feeling depleted. And so, in a sense, with the pandemic, it was a bit of a reprieve because that option to do certain things wasn't there. And so once options became available to say, hey, this is going on today and this is happening tomorrow, and then on the weekend we're having a party, you know, it's like starts to become overwhelming. And so for me, it was a matter of choosing where to say yes to others and then where to say yes to myself. So that is just a theme that has showed up for me a lot in my life. And coming out of the pandemic, I found myself being a bit more conscious and feeling more able to choose what was really right for me.
How did you get to that? What did you do to get to that point?
I think it's like Sid said, like changing your lenses and your perspective and seeing that it's not really that serious. Like it's not really that big of a deal. And kind of asking the question of what if in a positive way. Like sometimes I think that word what if, those words what if can lead down more of an anxiety provoking road, but asking that question of what if and seeing the flip side of it. Like, well, what if I don't do this? What's going to happen? And at the end of the day, it really didn't matter. You know, Sid would always be like, Liz, that's still going to be there tomorrow. You know, like
that's one of Sid's famous phrases. I've heard that said a few times by him. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really how it showed up for me.
Okay. And you have a sister in divine right, Liz, saying my boundaries were tested a bit too much. I've had to reset, keep it very real with myself and loved ones, and stand my ground. I was getting worn out before the reset.
I love that. The reset.
Yeah, it's nice. Sid, outside of the health challenge, were there any big tests that you faced in the past year? I expected.
No, actually,
no problem.
I'm looking. I mean, I don't. All the other things in my life felt like as Liz was sharing it, what came to me was like, all right, is that a real or imagined threat?
Mm-hmm.
And that's everything. Like, you know, back in the day, I used to like have moments where I would get a bill and freak out about it. Well, the bill wasn't even due for a month. Mm-hmm. Why would I freak out? Like, so for me, real threat was my sight was gone. That that gave me real perspective. Real threat was, that's it. Like, everything else is not a real threat. So no, when I got that perspective, it's like, man, this other stuff, man, as soon as I can get my mind clear, which takes me about all of 20, 30 seconds, maybe.
That's what I was going to say.
If it gets really deep, maybe an hour. Because of that, it's like, nah, there's nothing anymore. You can bring me anything. Fortunately, thank you, universe. I've been through them all. At least I feel like that. And so it's like, there ain't no real threat. If you want to freak out about it, that's on whoever wants to be in the freak out. Now, I'm going to be here waiting for you to get over the freak out so we can move on. Like, because there's no real threat. Like, some people are really dealing with real threats. Feeding your children, real threat. Mm-hmm. You know, kids yelling, screaming because their stomach's hurting. I used to have hunger pains. That's a real threat. Mm-hmm. You need to get that. I'm fortunate and privileged that my life keeps me here easy. Now, I stripped a lot of stuff back. We stripped a lot of stuff back. Bills and things that we don't have to worry about all that stuff. So nah, the real threat was my eyes. They're good. Let's roll. Let's roll. Like even in the water, like when I'm surfing and I think about a real threat. Like we've seen sharks. I've been bumped by sharks. It ain't a real threat till they hit you. Then it's a real threat. They just bump you. They're just trying to figure out what's in the water. Like, hey, cool. Let me get out your way because this is your living room. I'm just a guest. But at the same time, it's like, nah, that's not even a real threat. A real threat, shark's mouth's open, you got a problem. Like, that's real threats. This other stuff, like, there's no reason. That's why I love teaching peace, because it's like, hey, is it a real threat? No. Well, let's be at peace and see how you can get through it.
Nice. Liz.
I just laugh because I'm like thinking about all the examples of the past week that have been not real threats, but for me have been very real threats. So sometimes it seems really real. Like there's a lot of people
Thank you.
suffering out there. I mean, just the other day we're making dinner. I've been a bit dramatic about wearing my glasses, but I do feel like that's somewhat of a real threat. Because like
when you're handling a knife,
I can't see what, like I'm legally blind without them. So it's very difficult. Like if you look in your periphery, you don't see. So even like last night we're making dinner. Sid usually does the meat and I do the vegetables, and I'm slicing the squash, and there I go get my finger under the knife in the way. And I'm like,
Girl.
like, oh my God. I just take my arm and put it behind my back and I'm squeezing it to my shirt, which fortunately is a black shirt. I'm like, Sid, I can't even look at it. I can't even look. I can't even look. I'm just freaking out. Now I will say, I think it was a bad cut, but I maybe went a little too far. But Sid's just so calm. He's like, all right.
don't look at it.
I'm like, I can't look. And he just takes it and, cares for it. There's some blood on the floor and cabinets and just cleans it up. But it's all a matter of perspective. And I'm so grateful for you in my life, because that makes a difference. It's hard. It is hard for me to just correct that thought in the minute when something feels like such a real threat.
Right.
And to shift gears to say, this is not real. This is perceived. I am okay. I am safe. It's going to be okay. That's a hard thing to do. So that's why I'm laughing, because I'm just reflecting on myself.
Somehow I think there should be a reality show with you two. I just think it would. I think there's you're already doing a film, Sid, so maybe you can do this as a series, offshoot of the main.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
You see my face?
Yeah.
You see her face?
Yes.
That's our reality show right there.
Yeah, very true.
So as we look at 2022, what are some of the wins that you experience? Liz, I'll start with you.
The wins. I've stepped out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways. I'm not really someone who likes to be in the forefront or out in this moment.
Yeah.
I think back to even doing the first Dr. Vibe show here with Sid. I've come a long way from being okay sharing my voice and being seen. It's really vulnerable to do that. And I think that's part of this lesson that's kind of landing for me at the end of 2022 is like, let myself be seen and be seen for the truth and the realness and the vulnerability of it all. And that's a huge win for me. I think I'll just start with that.
Cool.
I'll just if I just interject for a second, Liz, I'm very proud of you, because I know that this is not your A game doing this. but you have progressed a long way. And what I'm going to say is, don't rob the world of your gifts. You have a lot of gifts. So don't rob the world. You have a very blessed opportunity to have a positive influence on so many different age groups. And I believe that's one of the gifts that you have. So please don't rob the world of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sid?
What's the question again?
Hey, I don't mind if you forget. So I big up your lady. So I'm glad you forgot about what I said. So I'm just saying, what are some of the wins that you've had this year?
Well, I'll say one win is, I had the pleasure of going out to be with people in Colorado and the 15 videos of me practicing yoga.
Wow.
And I hadn't put myself to that test in a long time. So the fact that my body was like, hey, we know what this is, let's get it. That was a big win for me. Especially after the steps I just described, with all of that stuff being for my body to say, yeah, this is how we do it, man. Let's go. Where you been? You've been asleep. So to wake up again in 2022 was awesome. And my relationships with everybody in my life have grown in such a way that I remember, I guess, I don't even know, it's been a while now, when my best friend's wife had passed, and I got to reflect. I got to reflect on what kind of friend would I want in my life right now. So I became that. I got to reflect on what kind of husband do I want to be so that my wife is smiling at the end of the road. I became that. Like, so that's what I'll say 2022 has been. Those are the wins. My relationship with others, my relationship with myself and shifting myself, and 100% knowing my body's back, baby. Like, there's nothing about this that I want to shy away from.
Let's get rid of this guy. He's too hyped up. Mr. Hype Man.
Well, I'm just hoping if he gets it out now, he won't race me to the car like he did the other day, the next time we go out. So let it out.
Hey, you got to bring it. You got to bring it.
Oh.
You got an A game, bring your A game. If you got a C game, be okay with that being your A game. My A game, you ain't seen it yet.
Okay, Liz, someone is complimenting you, saying Elisa Williams says, Liz, you look beautiful in your glasses. Happy holidays to you all.
Thank you, Elisa. Happy holidays to you guys.
Happy Holy Day.
Oh, sorry, Holy Days. We got to get it right. Get it right. I want to ask both of you, as always, you positively serve many people. What have you seen, or what lens, through your lenses, what do you feel have been going on in people's lives in the past year? Because again, you serve, as I said, positively serve. I'm not going to say serve, positively serve so many people. What are you seeing in their lives, in their journeys in the past year? The good and maybe not so good.
I mean, I'll go. Unless you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, go.
Yeah.
I would say I feel like there's this sense of overall vulnerability that I've seen coming out and through the communities and the group conversations. I think part of it is because of the space that we cultivate with people in conversation. But it just seems like people are really allowing themselves to be true and honest and share, from their heart, what's coming up, what's going on in their life, and giving themselves that permission to feel what they're feeling, to speak what they're thinking, and to move forward in a more conscious way.
Okay. Before you answer, Sid, a good comment here. Divine Right goes, Liz, what kind of vitamins do you take to keep up with Sid? LOL.
Hey, Hey, you know, the world has seen some people that are slowing down. It's time for us to raise up.
It's just
So
some good entertainment.
I'm ready to bring it.
Okay. Sid, what are you seeing through your lens with people over the past year?
Well, one thing that I know comes up a lot in our space of teaching is that a lot of people speak from you. Very few people look in and can speak from I. Their real perspective from where they are. And so I think that's a big thing, you know, because so many people have all the answers for everybody else. They haven't even looked in and seen that they ain't got even a single answer for themselves. So I think that that's a space that the world's coming into. Fortunately, life has dealt me so much that my thought process has been a little ahead of the curve. I think that's why my number of life is a teacher, right? Like, break down my number. I'm a 4. I was meant to teach, which means you got to learn first. So many people are teaching and they haven't learned anything because they haven't even gone to experience life yet. You read all the books you want. We knew that in football. You can draw up all the X's and O's you want on a board, but when you get on the field, they don't move the same. The lines on a piece of paper, and I write books, the lines on those papers, unless you become the book by living the life, don't land as wisdom. And so I think that's something that I think so many people, we got a smart world now. We got smartphones, we got smart world. And so there's something to letting go of the need to be smart and open up to something more than that, you know. So I'm excited for the world to be stepping into a new way of thinking, which means not thinking. Like, really, the new thought process, my computer doesn't have to think about it. It just does it. Why? Because we put so much into the computer, so much consciousness into the computer that it runs with the same firing kind of the mechanisms of our brain. We are coming into a new age of operating, which looks like a different thought process, which then looks like, if I'm really doing it well, the world just mirrors what's going on inside of myself. So that's what I see.
Anything you want to add, Liz, on that?
I mean, that speaks to me in the sense that when I think about what other people are seeing, it was actually back on the reflection of myself over this past year. So I know that's something that Sid teaches a lot about, is reflections, and what we see is through our lens again. So it's what's happening in us, and that's why we see it on the outside. So that's what landed for me from that.
Nice. Divine Right is loving you both. Says, I want to thank you both, Liz and Sid. The space that was held at the first Peace Summit was so needed at that time in my life. I reflect on the notes and realize my vulnerability and what I deserve.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how can people get ready for going forward in the new year? What sort of suggestions do you have about going forward in the new year?
Well, I'm going to say one, first and foremost, on Saturday at 12 o'clock, we have Living the Dream. I've been helping people live their dream life since I was coaching football. I mean, putting 23 guys in the NFL, we set goals. We got those goals achieved. I've learned, there's proof in the pudding, as we said in coaching. I learned how to help people achieve their goals, live their dreams. So we have that program on Saturday, and that's a great way to step into.
Where is that, on Clubhouse?
It's on Zoom.
On Zoom, okay.
So you can go to the website and go to events and get that. So that's one way. And then, yeah, taking that time, no matter who you are, we're coming through a new moon, taking that time to new moon, births the moon. New moon, new energy, new life, new year. Birth what you want to come into your life. If there's something that for us, like we wanted to find a place to live, we sold everything and we went. Let go of, be unreasonable. And what I mean by that is let go of all the reasons to stay stuck where you are. There's a lot of easy ways to pick up the reasons. Be unreasonable. Now, what I mean by that is let go of the need to hold on to the things that keep you, whoever that is, stuck where you are, and find the ways to go anyway. Like, be willing to be unreasonable with your own life. It's your life, so live it well. You know, that's what I have for people. There's a lot more I have. Like, obviously, I've written all these books. I got somewhere. I can talk about them somewhere. And
you got a home here, man.
Yeah, I mean that's in. I was reading this poem that opens up the book. We All Rise. We All Rise. Acronym WAR. The war is in me, and when I shift the war in me, we all rise. That's how it works. And so, you know, if you're seeing a war, I don't care where you are in the world. If you're seeing a war, the war is in you. Fix it. If you're not seeing it, keep going. Keep going. Shift that space inside. Like that's so critical to me. Like, hey, I hate to say it to the leaders of all the world. If there's still a war going on in the world, they got to look in. They got to figure out how to make a shift because they're the leaders of the world. The war is in me. We all rise when the war in me stops. I think that's so critical. I'll stop there.
Liz?
Yeah, I echo the words that Sid is sharing. Our annual workshop, Living the Dream, has been really powerful for me. Doing it each year and taking the time to sit and be still. I mean, so often I've set goals and thought about things I want to accomplish, but it's just coming from that mental chatter of what's the to-do list? How do I get it done? And the way that Sid has structured this workshop really has given me the time to get still and to allow that dream to be felt from the inside out, to say, instead of thinking about that mind chatter, listening to those whispers of the heart, to say, this is what's my path. This is what's right for me. So I would definitely encourage anyone listening to join us for that workshop and then stay plugged into the community. For me, the Art of Peaceful Living has been about a practice. And over these past couple of days, it's been a practice that I have found myself knee deep in, and so grateful for the community. Sid, for sure, but also the other people who show up and just share their voice and share their truth. Today, we had a conversation every Tuesdays in the morning. Sid offers a free coaching, and just to hear the others in the group connecting and talking to one another and just having their own communication that didn't involve either of us was meaningful for me to hear. So, yeah.
Anything you wanted to add, Mr. Sid?
I mean, we both referred to living the dream. And I remember when Liz, we first had gotten really acquainted with each other, and she was coming to the first living the dream she ever did. And I said, look, take me out of your dream. I don't want to be in your dream. And she was like, what? Are we about to be in a relationship? I was like, take me out. Don't put me in your dream. It's your dream. Don't put me in your dream. And then we can look at it after. So she went through and she did all the stuff we did. And I took mine out because I have my dream. I'm not going to tell everybody the process of it. But I said, let me read this first before everybody there were like 30 people. Before anybody reads there, I want you all to hear mine. And so I went through, and then she read hers, and they matched. That's why we knew this was our walk. Her dream didn't have to be compromised to be on my dream. my dream doesn't have to compromise to be on her dream.
Yes.
We're walking this together. And so I think it's important for everyone to find out what's your dream and then go walk it. Those that are meant to walk with me, you want to know how good a friend is? Go take a walk with them. If one of you has to slow down the whole time and the other one has to speed up and blah, 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 you're not meant to walk together. That's life too. The people I'm meant to walk with, we are walking at this pace. Now, Liz doesn't walk. I don't walk this fast as I talk, or the energy doesn't always come out like that. It's okay. We're walking at the same pace, you know, and we're going on the same journey to the same destination, and the house will be white.
Yeah.
I received that. Liz, you'd mentioned a little bit early, and I think this always is part of every year, but the whole area of letting go. Any suggestions from either one of you about letting go?
I know for me, I have some things that I have been working on for a long time. For example, one of the things I'm working on is my license for mental health, to be a licensed mental health therapist. So when I was in my master's degree program, which is now, I think, almost 10 years ago, I thought I would graduate with my license.
Right.
That did not happen because that was not the reality of the program, not by anything I did or did not do. But I can look back in my journals and see how I said, this is the year you're going to get it. And I just stopped saying that because I'm like, okay, there's certain things that I can let go of that are just going to be part of my path. And there's certain things I can let go of because it doesn't really matter if that thing, that person, whatever, fill in the blank is or is not. I've found that there's something below that thing or that person that is really what I'm seeking in a moment. So for me, it's been about just continuing to dive deeper and letting go of the stuff, but looking inward to see what is it that I'm really wanting to come forward. And usually when I ask myself that and I really sit and listen, there will be something that comes up.
Nice. I like Divine Right is saying that the deserving part is peace, acknowledging my triggers and how to move forward. And she also says, I love that, walking at the same pace, very important.
Yes.
Sid, what's a big dream for 2023 for you? Or one of the 3,000, by the way.
I mean, 2023, man, I know one of these are going to New York Times bestseller. That's it. Like 2023, one of those books are rocking their way up to that. 2023, movies in full effect going, and I'm just sitting back smiling, as I am anyway, but I'm smiling even bigger. And finally, I'll say that 2023, yeah, we're just living. It's not even a thought. Like before, I think I was thinking and seeing and projecting out there what was coming. And I feel that we've seen so far out, it's just coming. And so 2023 will be what God wants it to be at the pace God wants it to be, but I'm going to be walking.
Liz, what's a big vision for 2023 for you?
Well, for me, I am looking forward to also participating in the Living the Dream workshop and seeing what comes forward from what Sid does. So to be determined.
Okay. Divine Right saying, yes, let's go New York Times bestseller list. Love it. So before we let both you go and let Liz not cut vegetables today,
we're going out to eat.
You're going out?
Yeah, I feel like that's a need today.
Okay. Okay. Elisa says, big goals, big accomplishments, Sid's way. Congrats ahead of time. There you go. There you go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Any final words you'd like to share with our family and your family, because this is also being broadcast on your platforms? Any final words you'd like to share?
I mean, for me, I just share an invitation, get involved, reach out, step up. I think that's been a huge thing for me personally, is when I'm feeling like I'm not there, not it. It's always been such an incredible experience to just get involved in the community and to be with the people. So an invitation to show up.
Sid?
Final words. Destiny. Like, a lot of people look at their goals as the destiny, where the destination they're shooting for. Your destiny is right where you are. You are meant to be where you are right now. Do it well, right where you are. And as long as you do it well, my dad taught me this. Set goals, great. Now go do the best where you are, and all the doors are open that you need to open. And that's what it is. That's why I know I got a New York Times bestseller. I read my own book, first draft, and I'm like, damn, I wrote that? That's what's up. Like, it took me writing all these other books to get here now. Let's go. Do what you need to do right where you are. I said this to football players and basketball players alike, and baseball, all professional athletes that I've helped. You want to be a professional? Don't wait till draft day. Be a professional right now. You want to be a great writer? Don't wait till New York Times comes knocking. Be a great writer right now. You want to be a great doctor? Don't wait till after school. Be one while you're in school, and you will be great. If you want to be great, don't wait for the destination. Be great where you are. That's what I got.
I agree. I'll just piggyback on that. Some people may know the name John Maxwell. He's one of the most renowned writers of leadership books in the world. And a number of years ago, he came to Toronto. So I went to see him speak. And I went early. I like to go early. And I saw him. I go, wow. And back then, this wouldn't happen now. He was sitting by himself. And I asked the security guard, said, is that John Maxwell? He goes, yeah. Can I go see him? He said, yeah. I don't think that would happen now, but it was another time. So I went up and I started chatting with him. I said, John, you've written so many incredible books about leadership. Like, I said, how did you do it? He said, I just started. So just piggyback on what it said. Just start. Just start. Fantastic. Good stuff. And Mariah says, let's. I had to get that.
Yeah. Let me say something about that.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay.
On MJ Own Network, you know, I do so much. MJ Own Network podcast is ready, and I'm about to bring that. It's coming off the book. So podcast is ready. Rise with Sid McNairy on MJ Own Network. Just look it up. Rise with Sid McNairy. It's coming on all the platforms. It's all getting approved right now, but it's on Spotify. We've got something up. People can go check out. So there's that. Thank you, MJ, for being here tonight. Remember, MJ Own Network. Check out the TV.
There goes the animation again, Liz. There it goes again. Jeez. Divine Red goes, that's part. Just start. Yeah, just start. Just start. So key. And she says, yes, congratulations, Sid. There you go. There you go. I would like to say it is a blessing to have you both come on at least once a month. And I say it all the time, what you have created and are creating is very special. And you have great people. I'll just share a little bit of something. Every month we have a call together called the 13 plus. And I had been absent for a bit, I'm going to admit. And the last call that we had, I shared some stuff that I've been going through. And two of the members of the 13 Plus reached out to me directly. And I said, that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for these two people that are beside me. Yeah, that way. Yeah, it's reversed. Yeah, that way. Yeah, that way. So I want to say thank you, and I want to bless both of you, because I know as much as it's fun and games, it takes energy and it takes time. And the most valuable thing we have in life is our time and what we do with our time. And so thank you for taking your time and putting it to invaluable use for many of us. And believing that all of us are good, will be better, and sometimes pushing us there to be better in your own way. So thank you so much for all that you have, are, and will be doing. And I got to get some vitamins from Liz. I got to get maybe there's some vitamins down the road that Sid's going to market too. I don't know. But like, thank you so much for taking the time as always. You always have a home here. And maybe one day when it's in the summertime, we'll have you up here in Toronto. Have you ever, that's a good question. Have either of you been to Toronto?
Yeah, we flew out and did a teacher training in Chippewa Thames.
And you did the Toronto Yoga Conference.
And Toronto Yoga Conference. And we've even been as far as Alberta.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Calgary, call me. It's been a long day. When it gets a long day, I get animated. I see. This is a trick that I'm gonna leave with this.
Okay.
When I get tired, I recruit more energy.
Okay.
So this is you seeing me tired.
Okay.
It's true.
Hey, I've been working that one for a minute.
I love the body language. Listen, it's true. Well, family, may I suggest you get in contact with them. All the contact information is on the screen there. Speaking of that, we'll be back with us in 2023 to share, and check them out. They do a lot of serving. They want to see you better, folks. I don't think there's too many people I know in the world that, as a couple especially, that are serving in a great way that they are. So, as always, remember to give yourselves grace. Divine right. Should I have to put this up? Market those vitamins.
Keep up with vitamins.
Oh, yes, of course. So remember to give yourselves grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Do you have any conferences coming up in the new year?
Yes, we got the Peace Summit.
Talk to us, please.
January 14th, and then January 15th, the Peace Program begins. It's a year-long, get yourself to 100% peace. So it's for anybody that's not at 100% peace. Yeah, anybody.
We'll let you go, family. Be well and keep the faith.
All right.
Take care. Thanks again. All right. Be well. Oh, we love those people. We love those people. Always, always, always making us better. Well, family, before we catch out here, a few things. If we remember again, if you're watching this before December 31st, end of day, December 31st, 2022, please vote for me at the buyblacks.com People's Choice Awards. Go to buyblacks.com/PCA/vote to vote. You can vote every 24 hours. A few things. If you want to get in touch with me, there's where you can do it. Website, the drvibeshow.com. Email address, dr.vibe@the drvibeshow.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show. Twitter at drvibeshow. And Instagram at the drvibeshow.com. You can catch replays of this epic conversation at the Dr. Vibe Show, YouTube, Facebook, and at my website address, drvibeshow.com. And finally, as we checking out here, would you like to promote your business or service on your show? Contact me, dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. As always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. God bless. Peace, well, keep the faith, and walk good. And we'll see you soon, not only for the rest of 2022, but also 2023. And also, if you're up to it, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Subscribe and click the notification button. God bless. Peace, well, keep the faith.